Hello, I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes going over the instructions for the files that were sent to you via Egnyte. So at a minimum, you should see 4 files in your folder, and the maximum amount could vary. It is possible to have as many as 6 and maybe even more files than that. Regardless of the amount, you'll want to be sure to download and save each file to your computer. And the easiest way to do that is checking the box here and then clicking on the download selected link on the right side of the page. Next, I want to go over each file that will be in your folder. And again, for sure, 4 files will be included. And those files would be the client file, K1 file, Form 2553, and the signature documents. So the client file contains the federal return, supporting statements and schedules, and if applicable, any state returns. You'll want to use this file for your own review. And if you encounter any inaccuracies, please notify us so we can make the correction. You don't want to sign and send the signatures documents back to us if a return is not accurate. We will need to update the return and then send you a new copy of that return. We also recommend that you keep a copy of this file for your records. The next file is the K1. The K1 reports the shareholder's share of the business profits or losses. Please distribute the K1 to each shareholder as it will be needed to complete his or her individual tax return. So here's an example of federal form K1. Separate state K1s may also be included in your file. Next is Form 2553. So Form 2553 makes the S selection on your entity. This form is required to be filed with your return. You'll need to print out this form as signatures are required. Since the election is late, you will need to send some additional documentation along with Form 2553, and these pages will be included in this file after the first 2 pages of Form 2553. Here are the first 2 pages of the Form 2553. Any officer of the corporation needs to sign and date the bottom of page 1. On the second page, each shareholder needs to sign and date next to his or her name. The next 2 pages are the additional forms that will need to be sent along with the 2553. The first page is the statement from shareholders. Each shareholder is required to sign on the line above his or her name. And the second page you will only receive if you are an LLC electing S status. This final page will be the late corporate classification election. An officer of the entity will need to sign, write in his or her title, and date. A copy of your signed Form 2553 and additional documents will need to be sent back to us along with your signature documents. The signature documents are the tax forms you'll need to print, sign, and send back to us. When signed, the documents give us the authority to e-file your tax returns to the taxing authorities. Depending on your state, you may have either 1 or 2 forms to sign. So on this slide is a couple of examples of signature documents. On the left, Form 8879-S is the federal form, and this should be included in your file. The form on the right is the e-file form for the state of California, and I'm just using California as an example for illustration purposes in this video. Your state form will be included in your file if you are required to sign one. The state form will look very similar to the federal form, and for the federal form, you will need to sign your name on the officer signature line, and an officer will also be asked to sign the state form. Once signed, send the form or forms back to us so we can e-file your business tax return. The 2 most common extra forms are vouchers, and this includes federal and state tax payment vouchers as well as estimated tax vouchers. The first is the tax voucher from the tax return. So here is an example of a voucher. Although this is for the state of California, other vouchers, including federal and other state vouchers, will look similar to this one. The top portion gives instructions as to how payment should be made and when payment is due. For mailing payments, be sure to detach here and mail the voucher along with payment. The next voucher is an estimated tax payment voucher. These are payments that are made for the current tax year. These are not installment payments for your tax bill. These are actually prepayments that will be applied to your next year's tax return. There can be up to 4 vouchers, so pay close attention to each due date. The instructions for filing are listed here, and the date due is listed here. Again, for mailing payments, be sure to detach here and mail the voucher along with payment. If there are other forms that are part of your file that are not included in this video, those instructions will be located in the body of the email. These forms could possibly include annual reports and local returns. And again, as a reminder, be sure to send us a copy of your signed signature documents and all pages from the Form 2553 file. You can send them via upload, email, or fax. And if you do choose to upload, the same link that is listed here on this slide will also be in the instruction email. All you'll need to do is click on that link within the email, and it will take you to a website to where you can securely upload these documents. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.